Wayne Whelan was betrayed by his own friend when a Dublin gangster was told to come out for a night out and watch Ireland play Denmark. However, the night would end with his body being found in a singed car and his frame being riddled with holes. The 42-year-old gangland crime boss was so badly injured in the car blaze that took place in Lucan, Dublin, that he had to be identified through DNA, and it took at least 2 days. During that time, his mom and his sister, friends and family were out looking for him. On the evening of November 18th of 2019, the feared crime boss had embarked on a night out with friends. Wayne had been put on alert that there had been a very real threat to his life, and his life was still in danger. But when asked to go out for drinks at the pub, Wayne thought to himself, how can I turn down my close friend, Anthony Casserly? Now, Wayne was violent, and he made his money in the early days of being a car thief before venturing and dominating the drug trade in large parts of West Dublin. He had a lot of enemies. Just 60 days before Wayne Whelan's he had been shot by a Limerick hitman, Wayne Ryan, at Griffin Glen Mark in Lucan as he drove his car. Now, Wayne's car had been rammed, and then the trig man had aimed and then pressed the trig 4 times, striking Wayne in the chest and arm. Fast forward to November 18th, 2019, Wayne Whelan was out with Anthony Casserly on the way to the pub in Mount Andrew Rise. Anthony and Wayne had known each other for pretty much most of their life. After all, they were good friends, and Anthony literally lived down the street from Wayne. So for Wayne, who was usually on guard, he was relaxed because he trusted Anthony. However, when Wayne entered the car, a Toyota Corolla, Wayne was directed to sit in the passenger seat, and he complied. The car had been driven by Anthony, and just after 7:45 p.m, the Toyota was then caught on CCTV parked on Mount Andrew Estate, and less than a minute later the car was then caught on CCTV once again, a bright light covering the Toyota Corolla and Wayne still in the passenger seat. The car had been set ablaze. Police believe Wayne had been shot at least 3 times in the back of the head by a GUN man, whom may have been positioned in the back of the car. Now, Wayne Whelan, who was a heavy-set man, had no chance to react, no chance to escape, no chance to do anything apart from die. Now, Anthony Casserly exited the car and left Wayne to die, of course. He then waited for his uncle, Christopher Moran, who arrived at the scene in a Volkswagen, which turned out to be owned and registered to Anthony Casserly. Now, in the aftermath, it was said that Anthony messaged a friend on WhatsApp saying, "I had no choice. It will click with you when done, and I'll end up doing life." He also directed friends to begin buying their suits for a funeral. Now, Anthony Casserly also went to Wayne Whelan's sister's house and mum's house when everyone was frantically looking for Wayne after news broke out that it's likely Wayne Whelan had been decayed or seriously injured. Anthony Casserly even offered his help and support, and he even hugged Wayne's mum, who, of course, was distraught. Police says that Anthony Casserly betrayed his own friend due to a complex gang feud that resulted around the profitable drug trade. Of course, when police looked at CCTV, they found out that Anthony Casserly and his uncle, Christopher Moran, had a huge part to play in Wayne Whelan's so both men were arrested. When Christopher Morgan was arrested, he told police that the Vauxhall did belong to Anthony Casserly, but it was loaned to Christopher. Christopher also admitted to taking the car for a valet on the day of the Now, because the police were initially attempting to charge Christopher with the Christopher quickly told police, "If I'm guilty of anything, it's that I'm guilty of giving my nephew a lift." Now, when Anthony Casserly was arrested, the gangster tried to create an alibi by saying that he had given a family member a lift to St. Vincent's Hospital on the day of the after it was put to him by police that Wayne Whelan had been set alight somewhere between 7 and 8 p.m. Now, police checked out CCTV, witness statements for the nursing staff, and they could not find any evidence of Anthony going to St. Vincent's Hospital. And then on the 22nd of January 2022, Wayne Whelan's friend Anthony Casserly was sentenced to 9 years in jail for his role in luring Wayne Whelan outside to his death under the guise of watching a football match together. The reasons why Anthony Casserly has actually set up his friend has never been said out aloud, only he knows why. However, what we can say for sure is, when you are involved in a certain lifestyle, criminal activity like being a dealer, and a high level one at that, being double-crossed comes with the territory. It's part and parcel of the criminal occupation. Condolences. Stay safe. Safe.